Greetings, YouTube. Since I've been posting videos here on my channel, uh, I've had a number of people ask me about my thoughts on the 4th edition Dungeons & Dragons rules put out by Wizards of the Coast. Now, as most people who watch my gaming-related videos know, I've been gaming since 1978. And I've played 1st edition AD&D, 2nd edition, along with the Skills and Powers supplements. 3rd edition, both 3.0 and 3.5, and frankly, I consider 3.5 the OGL Open Gaming License edition of Dungeons & Dragons to be the superior set of rules. Pretty much it peaked with that. When they announced 4th edition, I wasn't really happy. I had a rather large investment. If you look at that shelf right there, where we go, there. That entire shelf is solid Wizards of the Coast 3.5 edition D&D books. And there's another shelf down here just as long, just as full. Not to mention the dozens and dozens of third-party books I have, and the ones that, content that I have on my hard drive. So I had a significant financial investment in 3.5, in the OGL. But I also had a philosophical and emotional investment in it. I think that the Open Gaming License was the greatest gift that the gaming community has ever received. I feel that it created a resurgence, and it has spawned countless games. Conan, Iron Heroes, Grim Tales, Mutants and Mastermind, Spycraft, Fantasycraft, Everstone, which is, I think, one of the best versions of the 3.5 rules, and of course, Pathfinder. And I know I'm missing, a dozen other gaming systems that were all based. The War system is another one. Star Trek D20. Star Wars D20. There are just so many of them, and of course, there's countless fan-created documents out there, conversions of old games. Cerulean Blue is an entire campaign set around the D20 system, and it very shortly is going to be released as a Pathfinder set of rules. So I'm really tied into that, and I wasn't happy when they announced 4th edition, and I wasn't happy when they had their new gaming license, which I felt was very closed. I wasn't happy when they shut down Dragon and Dungeon magazines to print publication and decided to go over to a 4th edition content. Now, those of you who have watched my videos know that my emotional range isn't huge. I frequently speak in a very level tone, but at the moment I'm trying really hard to maintain a calm demeanor because I am emotionally invested in 3.5 in a way that is, quite honestly, probably not healthy. When 4th edition was announced, I really felt that I had been betrayed. That something I loved had been changed to the point where it had ceased to be the thing I loved. That they changed so much of the rules simply for the sake of changing the rules so that it would not be compatible with the older edition, and people would then be forced to purchase all the books over again. I was deeply offended by this. It bothered me a lot, and it still does. I have gotten to the point where I simply cannot discuss 4th edition on any internet forum and message board on the Usenet D&D news group, which is I'm on there every single day. I check it multiple times a day. I know I'm old school. I use Usenet. But I just can't discuss it, because it enrages me so much. It just sends me into a white-hot fury. I have actually been sitting here screaming at my screen through clenched teeth because I've been so angered by people trying to tell me that 4th edition is just D&D. And for me, it isn't. It's a brand new game, and there's nothing wrong with brand new games. There are thousands of them out there. But when a brand new game uses the name of something I cherish, that bothers me. I think it would have been much more appropriate for Wizards of the Coast to have discontinued 3.5. Just said it's a dead system, and we open it to the world. It's yours. The open gaming license is yours forever, and continued to print and sell 3.5 books, even if they decided not to make any new ones. Because I would have found it interesting if 4th edition had been released on its own, as a first edition of its own rule system, and seen how the two games functioned in parallel. How would the sales of 3.5 been alongside 4th edition? But then again, without 4th edition, we wouldn't have Pathfinder, and I think Pathfinder is a cleaned up version of 3.5. So, I don't like 4th edition. I don't want anything to do with 4th edition. I hope that anyone who sees this who is a fan is not offended. This is my personal decision. I don't want the game. I don't have any interest in the game. I can't discuss it realistically without getting tied up emotionally in it, and I don't like to do that. So for me, Dungeons & Dragons ended with 3.5, and the game that is currently being called Dungeons & Dragons isn't. I apologize if this comes off harsh, or the person that actually prompted this video, Tyler, I apologize if it isn't what you wanted to hear. You just subscribed. I hope I don't scare you off. But I can plan to continue to talk about games. In fact, I've got a Savage World book sitting right next to me waiting to get reviewed at some point this weekend. So, I hope I haven't alienated anyone. I hope I haven't hurt your opinion of my channel or my views on games. But I don't have a positive opinion about 4th edition. And I don't imagine that I'm ever going to have one. 3.5 is the game for me. I love the OGL. I'm thankful for what it's done for the community. It's just the way it is.